Hello, and welcome to Community Pulse. Community Pulse is a public affairs show about public health and wellness in Chicago on CAN-TV. And today is kind of a different show. The only time of the year where you will see both of the co-hosts. My name is Levi Moore. I work for the Hexham Institute of Medicine, and
hello, Chicago. My name is Tacora Love. I am a member of the Academy of Medical Surgical Nursing as well as the Hectone Nursing Institute. So here representing both of those, I am a nurse by trade, and I am just excited to be in the studio with Levi.
Yeah.
You know, we have a great show planned for you guys today, and let's get it started.
okay, now I have to do the housekeeping first.
Yes.
Hectone Institute of Medicine is the sponsor of this show. Hectone is an 80-year-old not-for-profit that has worked in the public health sector for decades, doing managing medical research grants, public health care delivery grants, things of that nature. Hectone also sponsors this show. And it's really because of my role. Part of my duties at Hectone is I'm the coordinator of an organization called the Foxglove Alliance. The FGA is a coalition of 15 not-for-profit organizations that are in the public health care space. And we use Community Pulse as an education and outreach tool for the FGA. So, and I serve as the coordinator. So that's the purpose of this show. And, well, we're going to talk about our year, 2025. And first, personally, Tacora, professionally, what have you been up to AMS and Nursing Humanities this year?
Oh my gosh, I'm hoping that we have enough time to just go over everything that has happened. Like, one, I cannot believe we're doing a wrap-up show. Yeah. This year has personally felt like a blink of an eye. Like, went from January right to December, and everything in between is almost a blur. Like, in order to prep for this show, I had to go back through emails, go back through lists. Okay, what have we done? And just very, very proud of that. Professionally, I work for Northwestern Medicine as the program director of our clinical assistant training programs, which consists of our basic nursing assistant program and our medical assistant program. Those programs have just grown by leaps and bounds. I also do a lot of educating about career pathways throughout the city of Chicago, as within Northwestern Medicine. It has just been a whirlwind. I love, as you know, talking to youth, inspiring them, telling them about different career pathways in healthcare, and also just that STEM aspect of, nursing. The Academy of Medical Surgical Nursing, the Chicago Chapter 317, we have been in so many different realms and aspects with increasing awareness, community volunteering.
You are the newest member of the Foxglove Alliance, too.
Yes, we love it. We love it. Thank you guys for having us. Working alongside you guys have also increased like different exposure to different, additional pathways, additional places that we can volunteer and have our services. Part of the Nurses for Humanities is also, nursing is an art and a science. How do we infuse the two? So we've been very lucky and fortunate to be able to do that throughout the city of Chicago, as well as give back through the Chicago House, where we volunteer, help with meals. We volunteer with Chicago Kindness campaign, all aspects from their food pantry to educating their youth to assisting with poetry workshops with Dr. Joshua Hauser, who I'll talk about a little bit later, as well as working directly with Hectone for the COVID monument that is going to be up and coming, and we'll talk more about that. So as you can see that we've been very, very busy, and just also increasing the awareness of many, many different health conditions just around Chicagoland. So
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What's been happening with you? You've done more shows.
2025 has been interesting. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
First, I'll tell you about Hectone. Okay. Hectone is, kind of going through a change, but we're going to probably do fewer clinical trial management
Okay.
projects, but more public health projects.
I love
so
that.
that's the direction
I
we're
love
going
that.
into. And then on the other side, it's like it kind of went context crazy. Hectone operates the Hectone International Journal. So this year we have had a nurses essay
Yes.
contest, a contest specifically for community college students, and the three winners of the three individuals who got $5,000 scholarships were all from city colleges. And then there's also connected to the monument. There was another contest. It was a poetry contest.
Yes.
So
We have
the
nurses.
monument has a poet laureate. So that's Hectone. Now, Foxglove, we've added a new member, AMSM.
Yes.
And we
Cute.
kind of got back on track with the More Minorities in Medical Research campaign. And I'm gonna tell you, we got waylaid by federal cuts. By the Foxglove members
Yes.
were just
Yeah.
totally, it was like getting hit with a hard body blow. But
Losing your grounding for sure.
yeah, for instance, the Illinois Association of Free and Charitable Clinics. I'm a board member. They're a FOSA. Well, we have this AmeriCorps program, and there are these young people, students in their masters in public health, or it could be an undergraduate who's graduated, who's
Yes.
taking some time off to go to medical school, and so they work for the association, but they also work for individual clinics.
Yes.
So imagine the executive director gets an email on Thursday, says your program will not exist tomorrow.
Effective. Yeah. Immediately. Just.
That was it. It was just
Yeah.
gone. A lot of the research grants through NIH and a lot of the fossil members operate in that area. Gone. Yeah, I use this analogy. I don't know if you're in the Marvel movies, but if you saw, the ones with Avengers and Thanos, it was like Thanos snapping his fingers. Like they're gone.
Yeah.
But we're still waiting because, thanks to the work of Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul and other state attorney generals around it, they're winning all the cases, so that funding may come back.
It may.
But
Yes. Yes.
we just don't know. But and then the other part for me, it was DEI, health equity. And I'll never forget this. One of the lowlights of 2025. I'm at this seminar, work meeting at the Illinois Medical District. It is sponsored by Westside United. And they had two attorneys from Rush who walked us through how to un-DEI our websites. And it was just so like, I don't believe I'm sitting in this room
It's just unbelievable.
going through this. But like I said, there is this possibility that those funds can come back. It's just kind of like a wait and see proposition. But yeah, it's but M3R in general, it's kind of refound its footing because this work has to be done, and there are disparities in health. And so you've got private companies, foundations, even pharma companies are stepping up and filling the void.
Yeah.
And we've made a lot of really great contacts that, I'll talk about a little bit later. But there was one in particular that kind of opened up a brand new door for me to do this work in. But
Yeah, everything that you're speaking about is just so relevant, and it transcends almost every different discipline,
Yeah.
right? The challenges remain. Yes, we have to take away DEI, but the work still has to
Yeah.
be done. Those things don't change. We just have to find a different way, to do
you
it.
can't even mention woman or
cannot.
female. And it's sort of like, okay,
Yeah.
when it comes to health, there are some stuff that men don't have to worry about.
Yeah, no. Let's just be honest. That's the truth, right? Yeah, it just changes the landscape. But, as I mentioned, the challenges are still there. How do we help the public? How do we help our patients? How do we help, even our students, right? Because those things, the social determinants of learning and social determinants of health, they're still there. Students still face food insecurity, transportation insecurity, all of those things. It's very hard for students to learn, right, if they haven't eaten.
Yeah.
Or they're worried about, how they're going to put food on their table, right? So those things exist. How do we help our students? How do we bridge the gap? So you're absolutely right. The work still has to be done.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's talk about what shows that you do this year.
Yes. Again, I think you've done more than I. I'm not sure what happened there, but you've definitely done more than I. So there was just a couple that I really, really wanted to highlight. One of my favorite shows, all of them are my favorite, but this one was just, really, really my favorite. It was with Dr. Courtney Avery and Dr. Sally Metzer, whom you work very, very closely with. We did an interview about the upcoming COVID monument, and we just really talked about how personally, during that time, what did the pandemic mean to us, and then how did it change who we are and who our families are? That was a personal piece of it, and how we could use the physical monument, but as well as the online monument for us to share. On that online monument, I did a posting, and I have to tell you, it felt like therapy.
You were front line.
Front line, and then personal family experiences. Right? Lost several family members. And of course, I've spoken about it, but being able to actually go online on this monument and express how I truly, truly felt about missing my family members and the things that transpired. Like I said, it felt very therapeutic, and it lies somewhere. Right? It's just not on that piece of paper. But it gave me a chance to honor them, but it also gave me a chance to read the stories nationwide, because the online monument is nationwide. It is not just a Chicago-based monument. So it definitely, would encourage you guys to take a look at that virtual monument. And then, of course, we're going to have upcoming shows, right, about the physical monument that's going to transpire.
I think it was a week before Thanksgiving, there was the groundbreaking for the park where the monument is going to be. So it's slowly...
It's coming. It is coming, and it's going to be exciting for all of us to have a place to go and just remember that time. It is quickly dissipating. You don't think about it as much, but once you sit in your own peace, especially as a healthcare provider, it never leaves you. It never leaves you. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And was another show you were on?
Yeah. The other show, so this one wasn't necessarily a show. We interviewed Dr. Joshua Hauser the year before, but we have been working on several partnerships with Dr. Joshua Hauser. He's a physician at Northwestern Medicine as well as the VA. But what he does is intertwine poetry and medicine. And it has just been phenomenal. Not only does he work with patients, but he works with healthcare providers. So for Nurses Week, he actually led a poetry workshop where we were able to share about different prompts that he gave us. And again, it was just so inspiring and just so, it was actually life-changing, I have to say that. He also has been working with the youth for Chicago Kindness Campaign, They held a poetry slam and also a poetry workshop that he's been doing with the youth. And it has just been so surprising how these youth have just navigated to using their words and putting things from a pen to paper to really express how they felt and some of the things that they're dealing with. So that was, it's ongoing. So we'll have more about that. And then the other one, I also interviewed Dr. Virginia Castaneda. She's the manager of food protection services from the Chicago Department of Public Health. We highlighted her during Women's History Month because we learned about her role in food inspection. she went from an entry-level position up to this management position for food inspection. So we really shared about her being a Latina and the challenges that she's faced ascending to those roles.
She's she's a trailblazer.
A trailblazer, yes. It was such an amazing show. Yeah, so we have that, and of course we're going to be implementing. Chicago, I don't want to give anything out, but just stay tuned. We have some great shows planned for 2026. I probably shouldn't, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Yeah.
We're going to be implementing a third co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that co-host is going to also be from the Academy of Medical Surgical Nursing, Chicago, Chapter 317, and represent the Nurses for Humanities as well. So we're excited to bring her on.
Yeah, because, actually the first show that aired this year was me and Megan.
Yes.
Phillip, the former third co-host. Megan is the executive director of the Healthcare Council of Chicago. So that I think we taped the 2024 year-end show, and it aired in January. But let's say about some of the shows I did. Now, I want to make sure that I get this name right. Okay, normally I always interview people I know ahead of time.
Yes.
But this one, I'm not sure if it was Megan or possibly even our producer, Rocio, introduced me to Kimberly Hobson. She's the CEO, I don't know if I'm saying this right, the Southside Healthy Community Organization.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm not from Chicago, but I've been here since
So you've been here long enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
But actually, I realized that through my work with Westside United, I know the West Side a lot better than I know what's going on the South Side. So it was great just to hear her and how she's developed this operation where it's a network of hundreds of community healthcare workers who help deal with social determinants of health issues, that do a lot of referral work to help. Well, the main thing is to help them get access to care.
That was a great show.
And she's really informative. Now, the next person is somebody I do know. At the time, she was the newest board member on the Illinois Association of Free Clinics, and her name is Carol Sharp. And Carol is the CEO. Actually, it was funny because I interviewed two Black female CEOs of public health organizations. Well, Carol is the CEO of the Night Ministry. And I'm sure a lot of you know about the great work they do with the homeless population.
Yes.
But what people tend to forget, even state legislators are reminded, like, well, no, that's not a free clinic. Like, no, the Night Ministry is a free and charitable health clinic. It's just seems like it's more known because of the work that they do with the homeless. And, well, I'll put it this way. Please go to our YouTube channel and look for the show with Carol Sharp. When you hear her personal story, if you are not touched, you are not human. She's just a remarkable woman. Now, the others, I'm just going to group them all together because they're all More Minorities in Medical Research campaign related. And I'm on this inaugural Walgreens Patient Advisory Board where the focus is to get more people to participate in clinical trials. Well, I did 3 shows related to that topic.
You did. Almost back to back.
Yeah.
They were really informative, very resourceful shows that you did.
Well, it was interesting because we had Brittany and Cheryl Sanchez on the first one.
Yeah.
They're a mom and daughter. Mm-hmm. And Brittany is she's has lupus. Well, and so a clinical trial has kind of helped her get her life back. But it was really fascinating to hear how, boy, when Mama Bear gets focused on something,
you better believe
nothing is going to stop her. And just hearing these, and plus it tied in great because we filmed, it was aired during National Lupus Month. The next one, Angie Enola and Katie Doby, who are also members of that Walgreens group. And it's different because, well, she's participated in clinical trials, but she's also a practitioner.
Yes.
And she has participated, as a patient in preventive stuff. Now, Katie's is another, will tug at your heart. Katie should not be here. She had it was a form of cancer found late. And if not for her father being a physician, knew who to go to, got her into this clinical trial, it saved her life. And that's when, this is something we started doing this year. If you go to our YouTube channel, you will see not only the shows, but then there are also small mini videos. So there is, I want to say it's like, it's like a 4-minute video of just Katie walking us through her journey.
Yeah.
And, well, I've had 3 friends that said, I've watched that, I cried.
Yeah, and I love that we implemented the shorter videos, the quick synopsis, so that, as you mentioned before, like sometimes the longer shows, people may not have the time, but the short clips, and it just also highlights. What I really like about the work you're doing with the clinical trials is increasing the awareness about clinical trials, right? A lot of people, you don't know what you don't know.
No.
Right? So I think, with the platform, we're able to share this information. So great show.
And finally, the last show I actually did this last month. The Southside we actually did an event, a hybrid event at the Illinois Medical District, and it was on the changing landscape in clinical trials. And figured like we were over there, that ended at 11:15. It's like, hey, let me grab you two and let's do a show. So I had Stephen Fadawali from, he's a community representative from Walgreens, and then one of my favorite people in public health in Chicago, Dr. Neelam Agarwal of Rush, and Neelam's everywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, pretty much throughout Chicago land.
Yeah. Dr. A, actually, when I met her, I worked at the National Veterans Art Museum, and she was on the board of the Jesse White VA Foundation, and that's how. And then,
very nice.
We said that we've just kind of interweaved in each other's professional lives ever since, over the last decade. Well, let's see, we're getting closer.
Yes, we are.
So,
we are.
I know. Hopefully, we get this third person.
Yes.
It's much easier for us to do 2 new shows a month.
Absolutely.
And so I already have 2 people lined up. Dr. Nazir Galawali, and we're going to talk about potentially a lot of unnecessary amputations.
Oh, that's a good one. Bring me in on that one. Bring me in on that one.
I think Rocio was a person that made it like, what?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So, that's going to be a really interesting conversation. And then a young lady who I was just referred to by Megan, actually, to Gruel, and she's with 6 in clinical trials. So we're going to talk about clinical trials again. And then I didn't get to do a end of General Assembly legislative wrap-up last year. I definitely want to do that because there was a lot going on. And I'm pretty sure as we go through this soap opera with federal funding and our governor and the president going back and forth, and then the state response. Because one thing, the state of Illinois is really committed to healthcare provision.
Yes.
It's really,
Yes.
and so it's just a matter of what needs to be done, and there'll be. I have this other thing too that this will be tied to Fox Club, where we're really going to talk a lot about life sciences innovation. Chicago is a national, global leader in that.
Yes.
And it's things that you all ought to know. And for young people, if you're 18, 19 years old, and if you get through 2 years, associate degree, 2 or 3 certifications, you will have a very, very nice career in life sciences innovation in Chicago. So we're going to talk more about that too.
Yes, we have some great things lined up. So very excited about that.
Well, I'm going to let you close it out.
All right, perfect. So AMSN and the Nurses of Humanity, we have a great lineup, lots of great trailblazers and lots of awareness campaigns. We really want to just take a moment to thank you, Chicago, for, tuning in and listening to, our interviews, but also want to thank CAN TV, our producers who have been phenomenal. Also to Hectone Nurses and Humanity, Hectone Institute of Medicine, as well as Academy of Medical Surgical Nursing. Have a great year, Chicago, and we will see you in 2026. Have a great day. Be well.
Yeah.